Here is a letter in support. Dear Judge Wenzel, I've known Nick Rekieta professionally and personally since 2022. Nick created an entirely new type of entertainment covering legal battles on YouTube that was wildly successful. Oh, bullshit. That he created it? He created the content? I object to that. I object to that. My channel goes as far back as Nick's does. And if we want to go to the OG, it's got to be Lawful Masses. It's got to be Leonard French, who was the first. But yeah, he created it. Bullshit. He created. He might have gotten it. He might have popularized it. He might have been at times the most successful. But he created it. Bullshit. I object. His commitment to his work and love of law drove him to be one of the most successful law channels on YouTube, drawing hundreds of thousands of people to engage in legal discussions. Is that what people were doing? Engaging in legal discussions on his chat? I'm not sure about that. I've seen his chat. I'm not sure legal discussions is how I'd characterize it. But, okay. All right. Let's see. Nick's unique style of covering trial from gavel to gavel with humor, legal analysis, and irreverence led to multiple law channels gaining notoriety and popularity. Holy shit, he's literally taking credit for me. He's literally doing I created you. Holy shit. Holy shit. I created you. I created you. Wow. Wow. Epic. Is it too late for me to write a letter? Does the government need me to write a letter? I mean, he's not supposed to be sentenced till tomorrow, right? Is it too late for me to write a letter? This is some bullshit. Call me if you need me to write a letter, government. I'm here. Oh, Lord. The law became approachable for the average person through Nick's invention. I am going to be sick. Several channels became successful because of his model. An entire community known as LawTube grew out of Nick's influence. Okay, so not only is he taking credit for it, he's also taking credit for the term LawTube, a term that he repeatedly rejected and wanted nothing to do with. Outstanding. This led to many people becoming interested in law, going to law school, becoming lawyers, making lifelong friends who shared interest in legal battles, and changed the trajectory of many lives for the better, including mine. My channel was positively impacted by Nick's unique approach to online entertainment and his direct advice and help. Like the vast majority of lawyers, Nick struggled with substance abuse. I don't think this is the vast majority of lawyers. I do agree that lawyers have a higher than normal rate, but I'm not sure it's the majority of lawyers, and I'm also not sure it's the vast majority of lawyers who struggle with substance abuse. But, maybe I'm off on that one. This is a well-known and studied problem for the legal profession. It's so widespread that every bar association has programming lawyers for substance abuse problems. Well, maybe Nick should have taken advantage of one of those programs. Maybe that would have been nice. The stress of quickly attaining fame and fortune is often a catalyst for substance abuse that's also widely acknowledged. Yeah, but he came from money, though. So it wasn't the money. Nick's meteoric rise to success no doubt played a role in his mistakes. We're doing affluenza. I'm special because I'm successful. That's neat. That's an interesting angle. Nick acknowledged he broke the law. I'm not really sure that that's even necessarily true. He pled guilty, but given some of the things he said online, even since then, I'm not really sure, strictly speaking, he can be said to have acknowledged it. But, Nick acknowledged that he broke the laws, taking responsibility for it by pleading guilty to possession. The community and his family would not be served by his incarceration, but be served by his rehabilitation and his ability to get back the job he loves, explaining the law to his audience while entertaining them and supporting his family. In the years I've known Nick, I've known him to be generous with his time and helpful to anyone who wanted to know how to be successful on YouTube. He has a genuine desire to help others and has helped me on many occasions, whether it was to give me advice about my channel or just be a friend and listen when I need someone to talk to. Nick is loyal, kind, empathetic, smart, and passionate about his work. He is a good friend, and good friends are rare. Okay? I've also witnessed Nick's interaction with his children and know they love him deeply and they share a loving, light-hearted banter that only loved children have with their parent. I will give him that much. I visited him at his house, and I saw him be very good to his children when I visited them. So, at least at the time I visited him, he was a good father, and he had a good family and seemed to be working relatively well. So, that I will give him that much. That much is true. It is unmistakable that they love him and he loved them. Being a present father is important to Nick. Nick is also the main caregiver to his children, responsible for all their transportation to school events and classes. His children would not be served by a separation from their father, and the state should not take a father from their children unless he's a danger to society as the last option. Nick Rekieta is only capable of being a danger to himself, and I believe he'll recover and make better choices. I'm not sure about that either, but okay. This is Nick's first offense against the law. I believe he can recover, and the community should invest him and help him doing that. Everyone deserves a second chance. Many other people have completed diversionary programs and recovered their lives. It's my belief that Nick can recover his life and thrive after this unfortunate episode, in which I remain hopeful as a temporary setback in an otherwise amazing career and future. I hope this court sees the man I know and not the one gossiped about for chief laps or the persona fighting back against the gossip publicly. Okay, that sentence is the most telling sentence ever. So even this person, Megan Fox, even she subtly acknowledges that in his public statements, since he's pled guilty, has been less than, let's say, fully accepting of his criminal responsibility. Even she has to admit that much, right? But it's not him, Your Honor. It's the persona. It's the persona that's gone online and said all kinds of things that might be viewed as not accepting responsibility. It's just the persona, Your Honor, really him, really the person. He fully accepts responsibility in every way. He has done nothing but accept responsibility in every way. It's just that unfortunate persona online that has gone forward and said things that could be potentially viewed as not fully accepting responsibility in the deepest possible sense. It's the unfortunate persona. I like that even she has to acknowledge that some of the statements online have been less than fully. That's fun and exciting. I hope this court sees the man I know and not the one gossiped about for cheap laughs or the persona fighting back against the gossip. The Nick I know is a man who loves his family, helps those around him, makes mistakes, and then inspires others to be good humans. Nick is also deeply remorseful of any harm or pain he's caused to his children and family. He may not discuss it publicly, but privately, he's devastated. Okay, sure. Many times, Nick used his platform to raise money for audience members in need by advertising their GoFundMe accounts. Nightly, is that what he talks about for the charity? Is that what he's doing? Is that the charity he's raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for? Is he referring to GoFundMes that he took notice of, and so that's the charity he's raised millions and millions of dollars for? Interesting. Okay. All right. I mean, that's a take, I suppose. All right. Nightly, he would talk to them about their struggles, including thoughts of self-harm, and he always encouraged them to find something to smile about and try again. I've heard from many individuals who told me Nick Rekieta saved my life after reaching out to Nick in a dark time and finding someone who cared to respond. Incidentally, and not for nothing, when I tried to reach out to Nick, back when we were still on speaking terms, but when I tried to reach out to Nick, I found him very, very hard to reach. So, just saying. I pray this court will honor the plea agreement in this case and refer Nick Rekieta to probation. Sincerely, Megan Fox, author/journalist, also Baldo Washer. All right, what else do we have in terms of letters? Your Honor, I'm writing today to put in some good words for Nick and Kayla. Oftentimes in such situations such as this, the bad is amplified and the good goes under the radar. First and foremost, I want to sing their praises as parents. As been evident throughout this entire time and before, the kids have been thriving. They're healthy, smart, engaged, talented, polite, active, and participatory in church and other activities. Again, this was true at least at the time I saw him and his family. So I have no reason to doubt this much is true. You know, for his many, many sins, I have seen Nick be a good father, personally. And I will give him that credit. You know, I can't necessarily speak to what happened when I wasn't there, but I'll speak to what I saw. And I saw him be a good, caring, loving father who took care of his children, took care of their activities, drove them places, and all the rest of it. So I will give him that much. He deserves that much because it's true, at least from what I observed. Christian, who goes full-time to CCS, is in his junior and straight A student and a member of the National Honor Society. He also participates in drama, band, and debate. Avery and Sylvia go to CCS part-time and are also straight A students. They're also in drama as well as band and or choir. Audrey and Cecilia recently started taking Spanish classes at CCS. Except for Christian, the others are all homeschooled to some degree and advancing well. Christian was homeschooled until he was accepted into CCS for his sophomore year. Avery also plays both JV and varsity soccer. While he's the smallest player on the team, he also has one of the biggest hearts and always gives his best. Aww. All the kids take piano and violin, while the girls also take dance lessons. Sylvia takes 4 disciplines, Audrey 3, and Cecilia 2. These are extracurricular. While all these activities, both in and out of school, Nick and Kayla provide yeoman's work, getting them to and from school, sports, and activities. He does live in the middle of ass nowhere. And so I have no problem believing that he has to drive a lot, because he lives in the middle of ass nowhere and things getting to places probably takes a long time. So he probably spends a lot of time in the car. I believe that. Plus, with the 5 kids, getting them to their various activities probably is a lot. One wonders where Kayla is apparently in all this picture, by the way, because why is Nick always the one apparently doing all the driving and stuff? But I digress. All the kids and piano. Okay, we read that part. There were times where he did a lot of driving while they're separated from the kids, and we putting in 100 plus miles someday. Every time we heard Krista Barber speak of the kids, she marveled at their intelligence, their talent, and engagement and politeness. All the kids are loving and respectful and cognizant of the feeling of others. Again, that matches what I observed. Their kids' ability in school and as they progress through a homeschool curriculum is a testament to Kayla's dedication and involvement in their growth. Nick and Kayla also have helped family members. When they've been asked to loan them money, they readily did so. I should correct myself. They didn't actually loan them money, they gave it to them. Then you're not speaking contemporaneously. Why didn't you just edit the letter? They loaned it. No, what I meant is they gifted it. Why didn't you just edit it? Do you not know that you can edit the written word? I'm confused. They never asked for repayment. They've always been there for Kayla's siblings and their families as they navigated through tough patches in their lives. They've treated Dan and Sherry to trips in Hawaii and Florida, as well as provide support during other family trips. During family camp at Lake Beauty Bible Camp, Nick and Kayla rent one of the large dormitory-style cabins and invite the entire family to stay. A couple years ago, also mistyped, when CCS was short of money and needed parents to be responsible to provide costumes for kids in the school play, Nick and Kayla anonymously stepped up and provided the necessary funds so no one had to pay. Well, that's nice. In addition, Nick and Kayla are regular supporters of Make-A-Wish Minnesota and the Minnesota Zoo in Apple Valley. They've been active in their church community. The kids go Wednesday night activities at New London Faith Covenant Church every week. Christian and Avery go to Bible study Sunday evenings. They've also participated in other church-related activities throughout the year. They participate in overnight weekend Christian-themed outings, and Christian has gone to mission trips both in and out of the country. When Nick decided to go to law school, he had to drive to William Mitchell twice a week. He'd drive to class on Mondays, drive to our house to spend the night, drive to class on Tuesday, and then drive back to Spicer. He repeat the same drive for Thursday class. All this while, Kayla supported him by holding down the fort at home with kids. Their dedication to getting him through school was impressive. It made us proud when he passed the bar on his first attempt and was subsequently sworn in. Once, Nick did a short video on his YouTube channel. He responded to a question where he's asked what his best moment as a lawyer was. He talked about how a woman he knew was involved in a custody battle with her ex-husband. Many times the child's weekends were with the dad. He'd come home with bruises. Other lawyers he had tried to sever the father's custody and failed. Nick was able to get it done and get the child out of the hostile environment. Okay. That's the son I know. That's the daughter-in-law I know. Regardless of their personal situation, they look out for others, their kids, their family, their friends, and that divorced mother who just wants a good life for the son. Sincerely, Robert Rekieta. Well, that's nice from Dad. I appreciate that. All right, and then we have a letter from Kayla, which I believe is our last letter for the day. Dear Judge Wenzel, I'm writing today regarding Nicholas Rekieta from case number 34CR24341. Interesting referring to him by full name, incidentally, rather than saying my husband or something, but I digress. I know there's a lot of information out there due to his internet presence, so I thought it might be beneficial to hear from someone who actually knows the man and not just the character from the show. Nicholas has been my best friend, life partner, and husband for the past 20 years. He's the father to our 5 amazing children. He is and has been the kind of man who will stop what he's working on personally to help the people around him who are struggling. When our nanny quit suddenly in the middle of our school year, he became one of the main drivers getting the kids to and from where they need to go for all their activities. Also, incidentally, why Kayla isn't doing this also a little bit unclear, but I digress. The kids take a mix of homeschool classes and classes at CCS. They all take violin and piano lessons. Our 5 boys are in speech. 2 kids play soccer. Our girls take dance classes. And all 5 kids are involved in church activities twice a week. Not counting extra trips to the doctor and dentist appointments, we leave our house to drive the kids to class and activities 4 to 12 times a day, depending on the day. I believe that. A lot of driving. I believe it. There are even days that 2 drivers are necessary at the same time to bring kids to different places. Nicholas has been my rock, helping give our kids all the opportunities they can have. I could not raise our kids without the same diligence without him. In addition to him helping me with the endless driving, he's our main chef. He cooks almost all our meals, including the 11 p.m. request from our 17-year-old. It's fun to watch his skills and creativity. So Nick does the vast majority of the driving. Nick does the cooking. Again, what does Kayla do in this relationship? Unclear. But Nick is a good person. At least he's a good father. I'll give him that much, man. He's a good father. This accords with my own understanding. He is, to the best of my understanding, and based on my own personal observations, the person who is the most present parent in this relationship. He is the person who does the driving. He is the person who does the cooking. This tracks my personal understanding. So, whatever it can be said for Kayla is another story. But, as to Nick, he's a good father. He takes care of his kids. And they seem to be thriving, despite whatever problems he has. So, there's that. And no one can take that away from him. So, fair enough. The kids and I are not only members who benefited from his generous heart. Several of my siblings, other family members, friends, and church acquaintances have all been helped financially without hesitation, without demand for repayment. He's used his online presence to help other people raise money that was needed in their lives for problems. His heart shines through in those times. I know my husband's made mistakes and broke the law. Also, you did, incidentally. You just got didn't have to plead guilty, but you also broke the law. But he was just that, a mistake. Please give him the opportunity to show you his integrity. He's a good man. He fights for freedom and free speech, and that bothers some people. They're trying to take away his voice. Please don't let them. Thank you for taking the time to read my letter. Sincerely, Kayla Rekieta. Well, that was exciting and fun.